Last week, a massive shift happened in the tech world. The US quietly banned the most powerful AI model on the market for anyone living outside America. But almost immediately, a Chinese company dropped a brand new model that can actually compete with it, and here is the best part: it is completely free. Anyone can download it, run it on their own laptop, and absolutely nobody can restrict you from using it. But that is not even the wildest story making headlines right now. Anthropic, the creator of Claude, just got hit with a major lawsuit. Someone figured out that their usage limits were nowhere close to what they advertised. Customers paying for premium tiers were running out of usage incredibly fast, and you will want to hear how this might actually change how much you pay for AI. Then there is Midjourney, yes, the company you know for generating stunning digital art. They just pivoted in a massive way and built their very first physical body scanner. Wait until you see why, it is completely unexpected. We have a lot of major updates to unpack, and we are going to look at everything from a multi-billion-dollar talent war to a clever new way people are bypassing AI bans entirely. Let us get right into it. First, let us talk about this new open-source model. A Chinese company called Z.ai just released a model called GLM 5.2, and it is almost beating the absolute best proprietary models out there, completely for free. Why does this actually matter to you? Think about it, right now, the top models from OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google are locked behind closed doors. You can use them, sure, but you do not own them. If these companies want to hike the price, change the rules, or suddenly cut off your access, they can do it in a heartbeat. In fact, we literally just saw this happen when Claude's latest model got restricted for users outside the US. GLM 5.2 is different. It is entirely public. You can download the whole thing and run it directly on your own computer. No monthly subscriptions, no corporate rules, and absolutely nobody can shut it down or ban you. And do not think this is some weak, watered-down alternative just because it is free. In blind tests, GLM 5.2 actually ranked as the second best AI model in the entire world, sitting right behind Claude Opus, and it costs 6 times less to run. Granted, on the most complex, long-form tasks, the top-tier paid models still hold an edge. But the gap is closing incredibly fast. But speaking of Anthropic, they are currently facing some serious legal trouble. A customer named Carl Khan just filed a class action lawsuit in California. He signed up for their expensive Max plans, which were advertised to give users 5 to 20 times more usage than the standard $20 plan. But according to the lawsuit, the real limits were a joke. In one instance, a single 5-hour session ate through 15% of his entire weekly limit. That means a $200 monthly plan barely lasted him 3 days. Anthropic has declined to comment on the matter. Honestly, this lawsuit is a big deal because almost every AI company operates on these fuzzy, confusing usage caps that nobody really understands. If this case succeeds, it could force these companies to be completely transparent and tell you exactly what you are getting before you hand over your credit card. Meanwhile, Midjourney is taking their business in a direction nobody saw coming: healthcare. They just announced a new division called Midjourney Medical, and they are building actual, physical hardware called the Midjourney Scanner. The concept is pretty wild. You step onto a platform, get lowered into a shallow pool of warm water, and a ring of thousands of tiny sensors scans your entire body using sound waves. It completely eliminates the need for those tight, loud, claustrophobic MRI machines. But why on earth is an image generation company building medical hardware? Well, the founder explained that their image business makes so much money that they can easily fund these massive, highly experimental bets. He wants the scanning experience to feel like a relaxing spa instead of a cold, sterile hospital. They are already planning to open a facility in San Francisco complete with saunas and cold plunges. The ultimate goal is a 60-second scan that costs just a few dollars, with 50,000 of these scanners deployed worldwide. Right now, it is still a prototype waiting for FDA approval, and a scan takes about 20 minutes, but it is an incredibly bold vision. Over at Google, they just suffered a devastating blow in the ongoing war for AI talent. One of the founding fathers of modern AI, Noam Shazia, just left Google to join their biggest rival, OpenAI. To understand how massive this is, you have to realize that Google previously paid a staggering $2.7 billion just to acquire his startup and bring him back to lead their Gemini project. Back in 2017, Shazia co-authored the famous research paper that invented the core architecture behind almost every major AI we use today, including ChatGPT. Now, less than 2 years after Google spent billions to win him back, he is walking out the door to OpenAI, where he will lead their architecture research. It just goes to show how intense the battle for top-tier talent has become. These researchers are literally worth more than entire companies, and the tech giants are doing whatever it takes to steal them from each other. But while the giants fight, we are also getting some great quality of life updates. OpenAI just solved a major headache in the mobile ChatGPT app. Previously, if you wanted to upload a photo, you had to select it and wait forever for it to load. Now, the camera opens instantly inside the chat window. Imagine you are out eating, you spill something on your shirt, and you need an answer fast. You just point the camera, snap a photo, and ask how to clean it. The app processes it with zero lag. The only catch is that it is currently exclusive to iOS. Android users will have to wait a bit longer. And while everyone is watching Silicon Valley, one of the most practical uses of AI is happening right now in India. A massive education platform called Physics Wala, which is used by 36 million students, just upgraded its AI tutor. They gave it a highly realistic voice that speaks in English, a natural blend of Hindi and English. This is exactly how local students talk to their friends when studying. A student can scribble a messy physics problem on a digital blackboard, and the AI will read the handwriting, analyze the question, and explain the solution step by step out loud. It is like having an incredibly patient private tutor sitting next to you at 2 in the morning. Since launching this voice feature, students are asking 3 times more questions and staying on the platform twice as long. This is how AI is actually making a difference in the real world. NVIDIA is also pushing boundaries, but in the realm of animation. They just developed an AI called Motion Metrics that could replace decades of manual animation work. Typically, every single movement a video game character makes has to be painstakingly drawn frame by frame by an animator. It takes weeks of tedious work. NVIDIA's new AI can generate these complex movements in real time on its own. A character can walk, jump over a bench, pick up an object, and seamlessly switch their walking style to look injured or alert, all generated live. What is truly fascinating is that this exact same AI brain is being used to control physical humanoid robots. The same technology that makes a video game character move realistically is helping real-world robots navigate physical spaces. It is an incredible crossover between digital entertainment and physical robotics. Finally, let us look at how developers are handling the recent US bans on top-tier models like Claude. A platform called OpenRouter just released a brilliant feature called Fusion. Usually, when you build an application, you have to choose one specific AI model, and you are stuck with its strengths and weaknesses. Fusion does exactly what the name suggests. It combines multiple different models and runs them on the same task at the same time. By fusing these models, if one AI has a blind spot or struggles with a specific logic puzzle, the other models cover for it. The combined output ends up being significantly stronger than any single model on its own, easily matching the performance of those highly restricted, banned models. It is an incredibly clever workaround that keeps powerful AI accessible to everyone, no matter where they live. To test this, researchers put Fusion through 93 different complex tasks. And what they found is honestly wild. A panel of 4 cheap, budget-friendly AI models fused together managed to nearly match the performance of Fable 5. And they did it at half the price. When they ran those cheap models individually, the results were just okay. But together, they became an absolute powerhouse. Now, let us switch gears to OpenAI. ChatGPT just introduced a much smarter way to handle your daily tasks. Instead of you sitting there waiting for it to finish, ChatGPT can now work quietly in the background on a schedule. Think of it like setting a smart alarm. For example, you can tell it, every day before a major football match, compile a full scouting report on the opponent. And that is it. You set it once, and the day before the game, a notification pops up on your screen with a complete breakdown of key players, weaknesses, and tactics. There is even a dedicated schedule page now where you can manage all these automated tasks in one place. While most AI models try to remember who you are, Perplexity is taking a different route. They want to remember exactly what your work is. They are calling this feature Perplexity Brain. Normally, every time you start a new chat with an AI agent, it starts from scratch. You find yourself repeating the same context, uploading the same files, and explaining your business over and over again. Perplexity Brain changes that by quietly building a knowledge map of everything you have worked on. So, when you start a new task, it already has your context loaded. If you are launching a product, it already knows your brand guidelines, your marketing channels, and how you did things last time. This makes the AI 25% more accurate on the second try, and it actually runs 13% cheaper because it does not waste resources relearning everything. Then we have GenSpark, the company known for building slide decks and making automated calls. They just launched a new tool called Agent Base that wants to replace all those separate apps you pay for every single month. Think about how most modern teams operate. You have one app for customer relationships, another for marketing, a Google Sheet for tracking tasks, and Excel for the financials. It is a messy web of disconnected tools, and the subscription fees add up fast. With Agent Base, you just type a single sentence explaining what you need, and it builds a custom, fully functional tool right there. If you ask it to build a sales dashboard for the month, it pulls your data, analyzes it, and instantly generates charts, revenue tracking, and win rates. You can then just talk to it to update things on the fly. It turns all your scattered data into one clean, unified system designed specifically for you. But what if you did not even have to type out your edits? What if you could just point at something on your screen and change it? That is exactly what Lovable just introduced. If you are not familiar, Lovable lets you build full applications and websites using simple text prompts. But up until now, editing those designs still required typing out instructions. With their latest update, you get a visual toolbar that lets you edit by pointing and drawing. The coolest feature here is the annotate mode. You can literally scribble right on your live website. You can cross out a button you do not want, circle an element you want to change, or draw an arrow to move a section. The AI reads your visual marks and applies the edits instantly. You can even edit text directly on the page, and the changes save automatically. Not to be outdone, Anthropic just rolled out some massive updates to make Claude's design capabilities way more practical for real work. For starters, you can now point Claude to your existing website or design files, and it will automatically extract your brand colors, fonts, and overall style. On top of that, you can edit directly on the canvas. Instead of writing a prompt to move an image, you can just click, drag, and resize elements right on the screen. Even better, Claude Design and Claude Code now work hand in hand. You can design a layout, build the code, and make changes back and forth without having to restart the project from scratch. When you are done, you can export it straight to PowerPoint or send it to tools you already use, like Replit, to turn your design into a fully functioning, live application. You can literally ask Claude to design a sleek, minimalist skincare app, and with one click, send that design to Replit to compile it into a real, working app that you can launch online. On top of that, Claude Code can now turn its work into a live, interactive web page so your entire team can watch updates happen in real time. Usually, when an AI completes a complex coding task, you have to spend time explaining the changes to your team. Now, if you ask Claude Code to analyze why users are dropping off from your app, it will pull the data, build a live dashboard pointing out the issue, and suggest fixes in seconds. You can share a simple link with your team, and they can open it right on their phones. As Claude continues to tweak the code, the dashboard updates live. It is like having a transparent, real-time window into your development process. Over on the OpenAI side, they just added a feature to Codex that could make prompting a thing of the past. Normally, to get an AI to automate a task, you have to write out incredibly detailed step-by-step instructions. With Codex's new record and replay feature, you just show it what to do once. For example, say you want to automate uploading videos to YouTube. You simply record yourself doing it, typing the title, adding the description, setting the privacy, and clicking through the pop-ups. Codex quietly watches and learns in the background. Once you are done, it packages that sequence into a reusable skill. The next time you need to upload, you just tell Codex to do it, and it runs the exact same steps on its own. You can even open up the skill, tweak the steps, and refine it over time. Now, let us get to the part 1 you have been waiting for, that brand new, open-weight model out of China that is challenging the likes of GPT-4 and Claude Opus. It is called GLM 5.2, built by Z.ai, and we are going to put it to the test right now. We are going to feed it the exact same prompts we gave to Claude Fable 5 and Opus, word for word, to see how it handles building websites and applications. But before we look at the results, let us lay down some quick context. First of all, GLM 5.2 is open-weight, meaning you can run it entirely on your own local hardware. It also comes with an MIT license, so you can use it for commercial business projects completely free. It features a massive 1 million token context window, which means you can feed it an entire code base or project history without worrying about it forgetting details. Finally, it has 2 thinking modes, high and max. And we will be using the max mode to really push its limits. Let us start with our first test. We asked GLM 5.2 to build us an interactive AI learning roadmap website. But watch what it does before it even writes a single line of code. It actually pauses and asks us 3 clarifying questions. It wants to know our background, how much time we can commit daily, and what our main goal is. Let us tell it we are a student, we have 30 minutes a day, and we want to use AI for work. The result is honestly impressive. It generates a clean, interactive skill tree and a 90-day plan laid out week by week with customizable drop-downs and direct links to actual study resources. And if you change your daily commitment from 30 minutes to 1 hour, the entire roadmap instantly rebuilds itself to match your new schedule. Now, let us run the exact same prompt through Fable 5 to see how it compares. Just like GLM 5.2, Claude Fable 5 also builds a highly detailed, week-by-week learning plan, stretching from week 1 all the way to week 13. It kicks things off with Andrei Karpathy's famous introduction to large language models, moves steadily into advanced AI engineering, and wraps up with a practical phase where you actually build and launch a real-world project. It features a clean, functional progress tracker down the side so you can check off tasks as you go, alongside a visual skill tree that shows exactly what concepts unlock next. The entire interface is polished, intuitive, and works flawlessly. Next, we ran the exact same prompt through the slightly older Claude Opus 4.8. It processed the request and generated a file, but the result was a bit of a letdown. It presented us with a beautiful landing page featuring a prominent button that said "Build my roadmap." But when we clicked that button, absolutely nothing happened. The interactive, week-by-week plan simply was not there. It is a stark reminder of how fast this technology is moving. We are looking at 2 models from the exact same company, released only a few months apart, yet yielding completely different results. In this test, GLM 5.2 ran neck and neck with the cutting-edge Fable 5, while the older Opus 4.8 lagged far behind. To really push GLM 5.2, we decided to raise the stakes. We gave it a prompt to design an interactive website based on the concept "One Wish Below." Here is what GLM 5.2 delivered. As you scroll down the page, the entire interface animates beautifully. You can type a wish into a text box, click to seal it, and watch the page react with custom drifting particles, unique typography, and even a functional sound toggle. It even proactively added a call to action button entirely on its own. It is an incredibly engaging, highly interactive experience. For comparison, we ran the same prompt through Opus 4.8. The result was solid, clean layout, elegant typography, and a fully functional wish box that drops digital glitter across the screen when you interact with it. Then we tried Fable 5. Visually, Fable 5 was stunning. The writing was poetic, and the mood and design were absolutely spot on. However, it lacked deep interactivity. It felt more like a beautifully designed static poster than an immersive, clickable web application. While all three models delivered great results, GLM 5.2 gave us the most interactive and dynamic experience, offering far more moving, clickable parts than either of the Claude models. For our third and final test, we wanted to see how these models handle a far more complex challenge, building a fully playable video game from scratch. We asked GLM 5.2 to build a complete 2D side-scrolling action game in a single file, featuring a commando-style soldier, a jungle-themed level, power-ups, 3 lives, a score counter, and custom sound effects. The result was incredible, a retro-style pixel art commando that runs, jumps between platforms, and fires continuously at oncoming enemies. Every shot triggers a distinct sound effect, and the lives and score counters are clearly displayed at the top of the screen, exactly as requested. When we ran the same prompt through Fable 5, it built a game called Jungle Strike. It was fully playable and highly polished. The soldier controls are responsive, enemies attack in waves, and when you pick up a rapid-fire power-up, your weapon's firing rate increases dramatically as your score climbs. Finally, we tested the older Opus 4.8. It also delivered a remarkably smooth game, with the standout feature being a spreadshot power-up that sprays multiple bullets across the screen to clear out enemies. All three models performed exceptionally well here, proving that GLM 5.2 can easily go toe-to-toe with the absolute best models in the world when it comes to complex coding. But of course, any sensible person has to ask, what does this actually cost? To process 1 million tokens, Claude Opus 4.8 costs about $5 for input and $25 for output. GLM 5.2, on the other hand, does the exact same work for just $1.20 for input and $4.10 for output. That makes GLM 5.2 roughly 5 times cheaper to run, delivering the exact same quality of work for a fraction of the price, and often with faster response times. If you want to try GLM 5.2 yourself, you have a few easy options. The quickest way is to simply head over to their web interface, where you can start prompting and building directly in your browser with zero setup. If you are a developer and want to integrate it into your coding workflow, you can easily access it via OpenRouter, generate an API key, and drop it into free development tools like OpenCode. However, there is one critical detail you must keep in mind before using the cloud version of GLM 5.2. Whenever you use a cloud-based AI, your data is sent to external servers to be processed. For GLM 5.2, those servers are owned by Z.ai and are located in China. If you are working with highly sensitive data, private client documents, or proprietary code that you cannot afford to share, you need to be aware that your data is traveling through infrastructure you do not control. If that is a concern for you, there is a perfect solution. Because GLM 5.2 is an open-weight model, you can download it entirely to your local machine using a free tool called Llama. This way, the model runs locally, and your data never leaves your computer. Just keep in mind that because this model is so powerful, you will need a robust computer with a strong GPU to run it smoothly. It is also worth noting a common rumor circulating right now: many people claim that Nvidia is hosting this model for free. That is only half true. Nvidia's free platform is currently running the older GLM 5.1 model, not the new 5.2 version, so do not go there expecting to get these exact same results. If we step back and look at the bigger picture, just a year ago, building something this advanced required paying a premium for the most expensive proprietary models on Earth. Today, a free, open-weight model can match that performance on your own local hardware. The financial barriers to building websites, applications, and custom tools have officially collapsed. The tools are now in your hands, completely free. The only question left is, what are you going to build with them? With open-source models catching up to corporate giants at a fraction of the cost, we are entering a wild new era of technology. Do you think these free, open-weight models will eventually make paid subscriptions like ChatGPT Plus obsolete, or will the tech giants always find a way to stay one step ahead? I would love to hear your thoughts on this, so let me know in the comments below.